What's up, everybody? This is Kieran Reese, otherwise known as the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer of the O.C.G, and hopefully I'm live with Shadow War. I just got done doing a 100% platinum run of Shadow of Mordor, and now I'm carrying on Shadow War. I think Shadow of Mordor is a good game, but I think Shadow War is legitimately one of the best games ever made ever. Okay.
I had a family once. A wife.
This is beautiful.
And a son. And I buried them along with everyone I even knew. What has happened to me?
I've already seen all this. Prologue, the new ring.
The world of men is ending. I have seen it. I have felt it. In the fires of Mount Doom, a ranger and a wraith, bound together in death, craft the one thing that could challenge the Dark Lord. A ring of power. Power can blind those who seek it, and even the strongest bonds can be broken. The future I have seen cannot come to pass.
Celebrimbor.
Death calls to you again, Ranger. How do you answer?
Italian. This is beautiful. Where did you find it?
I still have a few friends left in Gondor. What's wrong, my love?
The past is the past. Nothing can be changed.
We must leave this place. We can go now.
What's remains? Lord Death.
The Wraith calls to you. I call to you.
Wraith! Where are you?
You wait this for you.
He calls your name.
Cirith Ungol. Which basically, in Elvish, is Spider's Pass.
Celebrimbor.
Talion. Talion.
I will find you. keep quiet. These orcs are preparing for war.
You're getting jumpy. Yeah, famous last words.
You wait.
I need to drink this crawl. Hearing things. I think he's over there! I'm going to collect something over here. And the marauder says, someone's killed him. Really don't have to spoil the joke. Nothing here but shadows and death. Like it is my face.
You've come far.
Yeah, spider. One of these things looks to be raw. I'm gonna kill it. This place gives me the creeps. I like Rick Rock just I know.
Yeah, I hear you whispering, bitch. Fucking chill, bro.
I suppose it was me imagination.
Hey, hey, hey!
I was looking forward to
Yeah, I finally finished off Shadow of Mordor last night, so I'm like, hey, I should do Shadow War. Well, I wanted to do Shadow War, and like I said, not only is the leap in quality astronomical, but I think you'll see it too. And it's also kind of a good opportunity to highlight some areas where I feel like Shadow of War was unfairly judged. Some people bitched about parts of the lore.
I saw something over there.
Okay, so one of the changes they made in the lore that a lot of people were pissed off about, but I think it's fine, is they turned Shelob into a human chick, or an elf chick. You know, Shelob the spider. Now, that may sound like a terrible decision, but there's actually a lore-supported reason for it. Shelob is the daughter of Ungoliant, the great spider of Mordor. This spider was so fucking powerful that Sauron was scared of Ungoliant. Okay? She nearly drank the light of the world she dry. I'm talking about this spider nearly swallowed the light of the world. Okay? But Ungoliant was a shapeshifter. The spider, she chose to take the form of a spider. That was her favorite form. She could take all kinds of different forms. Okay, so, on the surface, giving Shelob an elf female form sounds weird. But when you recognize that she is the direct descendant of somebody that was clarified as being able to shapeshift, it's really still keeping within the lore. Like, hey, my mom can shapeshift, and they don't say she is a female elf. You know what I mean? That she could take on multiple forms. So, people got really upset about Shelob being a female, having like an elf female version. But honestly, it still feels respectful to the lore. And this game makes certain changes to the lore, but they're done with respect. Like, I don't need my game or my movie or whatever to be 100% accurate to the source material. I just need them to try, and I need the changes to be done with respect. You can tell when they make changes in this game that these are people that still like Lord of the Rings. They're not just changing things to be a douche, and the changes make sense. Also, the chick who plays Shelob is super fucking hot. And that also stoked people's ire, because of course it does. You can't have a hot woman anymore. Talion and Celebrimbor made their own new Ring of Power. Which, once again, makes sense, because Celebrimbor is the one who made the rings in the first place.
Spider does not forfeit its prey, Ranger. Not unless the greater has set for it. I called you here for a reason.
You will return him to me. Now.
You are brave. For a man. But it is not your sword that will save him. How much are you willing to sacrifice? To suffer.
I have given up everything.
Not everything. Not yet.
You want the ring?
You would give me the ring for the wraith.
And find myself beside him in your web.
I am Shelob, and I deal only in truth. I wouldn't give it up either.
Wait.
Time now!
Take your price.
That also shows the strength of Talion. His moral character.
He must mean something to you. Go to your puppet before he dies.
You have doomed us, Talia. Her power was vast before, and now you have given her mine. I poured my life force into that ring.
Then we must take it back.
The war you came to fight is not here. The ring is lost. So look to Minas Ithil and the Dark Lord's armies that surround it. Look to the Palantir. Sauron will not stop until all of Middle-earth is dominated.
The Palantir must be protected.
Minas Ithil. I must know if Shelob's vision holds true.
So already, this game begins with a bang. Act 1, the Siege of Minas Ithil. I'm trying to explain the lore. See, the city's fucking awesome. And unlike anything that was in the first game,
The spider showed us the truth. Gondor's last fortress in Mordor cannot fall.
yeah, and it's fully explorable. You can climb to the top of that tower.
The Palantir is our concern. We must seize it before it falls into Sauron's hands. With it, his armies will be unstoppable. The fate of the city matters not.
I will not let them be slaughtered like my brothers at the Black Gate. We need to do something.
It's a cool fucking city. Like I said, it's got a very Romanish inspired thing to it. So, this game also has a really good photo mode. And also, it's a chance to use... Oh, you'll see. Hold on. Okay, so there are some people who were pissed off by the changes that this game makes to lore. That there's another Ring of Power, that Shelob is a human, and according to the timeline of the series, this city fell in the Second Age and became Minas Morgul. So it fell 1,000 years before this game would have been set. But, however, I would say, to all those points, one, Shelob, like I explained, they've set the precedent that her mom was a shapeshifter. Two, they've already stated that this is beholden to the timeline of the movies. And if you know anything about the lore of the movies, they changed the timeline quite a bit in the movies too. You know how in the Fellowship of the Ring, Gandalf disappears? and Frodo waits for him, and then he decides to set out for the ring, and it's like, oh, a few weeks? Yeah, there's 20 years between when Gandalf pops off and leaves and when Frodo actually goes after the ring. So they took something, just for an example, that was 20 years in the book and shortened it to a few weeks. So, but nobody bitched about that. And that's what I was trying to say. There are changes in this game, but they're made with respect to the canon. Shelob having the ability to shapeshift is plausible. Minas Ithil is plausible because they wanted to show the timeline of the movie. This is technically right after The Hobbit and before Lord of the Rings, there's a 60-year gap. And also because they wanted to show the city and have it change throughout the course of the game and go from bright, pretty Minas Ithil to evil Minas Morgul. So, having the city actually pop up in the game and change throughout, really cool. So, yeah, there's a good example to show you something I was talking about. Well, I will here in a second.
By the Gondorians in time.
And they could lead us to the Palantir. We must find a worm and make him talk.
And it is honestly hard to think of a way that this game does not improve on the original game. It's actually ridiculous. Like the parkour. The parkour in the first game was good, but it wasn't anything crazy. Because they have a city with a lot more stuff, they dramatically overhauled the parkour in this game. You'll see.
Who leads the search for the Palantir? The captain leading the search is in the lower city.
Then he will go no further.
And at the time, I can't show you right now, but I will. At the time when this game released, this was one of the best games to support PS4 Pro and Series X. Not Series X, I'm sorry, Xbox One X, because they did the mid-gen refresh. Also, I like the map in this because it's 3D. It's actual 3D models, which I think is really cool. And it also, you can zoom out and see a whole map of Mordor that's 3D, and it's a really cool way to see all a shit of Mordor. Even areas that aren't technically in the game, they show them for reference, which is really cool. Like, here, Minas Ithil is on the foothold of Mordor. It's the gate. Then here's Osgiliath, the city that got taken over in the Two Towers. And here's Minas Tirith, which I'm pretty sure you know Minas Tirith. And obviously it's not in the game, but it's cool that they show that for reference because Gondor borders Mordor.
It's the Grey Walker! I thought
Yeah.
he was dead! He is!
Oh, I love that. That's a Grey Walker. I thought he was dead. He is!
It doesn't look good for the Gondorians. We have to help.
The Palantir is a powerful artifact. If we were to possess
And, like, the way that this game improves, dude, the parkour is way better. The melee combat's way better. You have a level, your character levels up now. You have a skill tree, you level up, and you get different sets of armor. with this game and all the different orc tribes, there's now many, many different sets of armor and weapons. And that change actually greatly benefits
Turn the tide.
the system that they were going for, because you get unique loot. Like the first game already was very heavily RPG-ish, and so enhancing that was a good thing. But dude, I fucking love the look of this city, man. Like, I love the look of the city, and like it's permanently at nighttime once it gets taken over, and this tower gets turned all black and evil and has green lights and shit. So it's actually kind of cool and also kind of sad to see the city change.
We need to target their captains. He's close.
The Wraith world will reveal his presence. Clark.
There's way, way more variety in the Nemesis system. Like, it was cool in the first game, but they really, really make the most out of it in this one. Like, there's so many unique orcs, you will never see a fraction of the actual orcs. And, like I said, like, when this game came out, it was right when the Xbox One X was coming out, and it actually was one of the best games for PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. You actually got much, much, much better textures when you played it on One X. It's actually one of the big games that really supported.
The Palantir, and it's why we're here. The city is just an obstacle between us and it. You find the Seeing Stone, you bring it directly to me. This is how we conquer Middle-earth, lads. One man? Gondor should have sent more reinforcements. This is our city, Manfilth. You're too late.
Like, and what's really cool is before the city gets taken over, you can actually find human soldiers fighting orcs in the streets, and they will actually help you. So you're in the city in the middle of this big ass battle. Like, you can actually see orcs fighting Gondor troops. And it's cool to actually have backups from regular people. Compared to the first game where you're literally all by yourself. And that's what I think is really cool. And what I mean when I say this game is such a huge improvement. Like, I like Shadow of Mordor. I think it's a good game. I seriously would put Shadow of War in like my all-time top games ever. My old save file, before I deleted it and started over, I have a backup. 83 hours. And there was still stuff left for me to do. This game was fucking enormous. And it was one of those games where there was a couple of minor things I didn't do, but I'd done everything. It was just some like grinding out armors. Like, you know, armors have like special things you can do to max them out. And so there's a couple of things that I like. This is an armor set I'm not even gonna wear. I don't want to spend the time grinding out this stuff to boost it. But I did pretty much everything there was to do, and that's where a mark of a truly great game is, when you've done everything there is to do, and you're fucking sad that it's over. Like, I got this game at launch, and I was bummed when it was done. See? You get different swords with different appearances, different daggers, different bows, different armor sets. You can modify them, and stuff like that actually works out really well.
Why are you out here alone?
My raiding party was trapped in the lower city overnight.
How many of you were there?
Not enough.
Enos Ethel still stands.
We're about to lose the middle city, Ranger. They'll be closing the gate if they haven't already. We need to get up there as fast as we can.
I'll be right behind you. Wait. What is your name?
Idra.
Talia.
Don't fall behind, Talion. We've lost enough men today.
And I love the city, how it looks, and the fact that you can see these giant battles. It's not like very often that you play an open world game like this that has massive dynamic battles.
Let's move.
And I just love the design of the city.
You are, but thank you.
And each the first game you could start to like brand the orcs and take over them and build your own army, but it was kind of limited. It came in near the end. They really do that. You take over the region, and once you get all the war chiefs in and you take over the region, you have this massive siege missions where it's like you literally gain your whole orc army and storm the fucking gates of each region and take it over. So you have these big giant army battles in this game where there's literally like over 100 different fucking troops on screen. And then once you take it over, you can just walk around in your hideout. And peaceful. And there's now different tribes of orcs, and each one looks completely different. So like in the original game, all the orcs, there's characteristics, but they all follow roughly the same tree. No, there's like 8 different tribes of orcs that are completely different, and whoever you made your war chief in the region, the fortress that he occupies will change the look, so you actually change the areas. So it's like, one of the orc tribes is smelters. So if you make a smelter orc the captain of your fortress is going to be all industrial and shit. And so on and so forth. So it gives you a degree of customization over like the city, the bases and shit. You can like have an orc be your bodyguard. So you pick your favorite war chief and summon him into regular battles to fight with you. Whereas before, even if you like capture the war chief, you just, I ran into my war chief. Now you can like, hey, bodyguard, and call fucking a squad of orcs to fight with you. I mean, just a lot of really cool shit in this game.
Will need our support. We can't leave him out here.
And if you play this on Xbox One X, it actually had a much higher quality texture pack that made the game look a lot better. Much higher quality textures and shit for characters, for the UI, for the orcs. And it was great because most of the games that were supporting One X and PS4 Pro just did high resolution, which, I mean, high resolution is cool, but I like having a whole, a higher degree of textures is a much bigger improvement than just a resolution, which on surface is kind of boring, and it's like, when a lot of these games do that, that's kind of what they do. And, well, you'll see what I mean. There's something else I was trying to show, but I need to get to a high vantage point. Yeah, it does. But at the time, I'm saying it wasn't on console. So it actually... was like a good reason to have the enhanced consoles. I had a 1X, and I actually played Shadow of War for the first time on it. Well, I got it later, yeah. See, you have these big-ass battles with the fucking human warriors.
Sergeant Dagon and his men are at the arena. We must aid them.
We've lost the middle city. Rally at the gate.
Keep moving. We'll cover your retreat. Kill them all! Kill them all! Steady!
Fall back to the gate. The middle city is lost.
Join us! The gate is closing!
And they pretty much, the orcs in this game respond to like everything you do. There's so many fucking variables.
The middle city is lost!
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Another thing. That's another thing that pisses me off about Warner Brothers. They don't upgrade their fucking games for next gen. Like so many people like Ubisoft, I love Ubisoft. They will upgrade their games for next gen. Even older games. But I'm saying Warner Brothers had a shit ton of games that came out right around when PS5 Series X launched that never got next gen versions. And I, for one, would have fucking loved to be able to play, obviously, of course, the Batman games should have gotten an update. But even this game deserved to get a next-gen update for PS5. A PS5 version with 60 FPS. I kept waiting when they first announced PS5. I'm like, are they going to do Shadow of War? Nope. Because, like I said, they supported PS4 Pro, and this is one of the big games to support. This is one of the first games to support 1X, because it came out the year after PS4 Pro. So you'd think they would have done this game, because they were already so big about it supporting advanced hardware. Nope. It's such a shame, man. It's also, like, this game kind of got some shit from some people in ways that it didn't deserve. So, this game at launch had microtransactions, and people lost their fucking shit. This game came out, like, right when microtransactions were getting big, so this game took a lot of heat for having microtransactions. But I want to stress that the microtransactions were, like, the only ethical way to do it. It's like if you just felt fucking lazy. I don't feel like leveling up to the max level. Oh, I can auto do that, but the game is not, you know, you're totally cool. Like, I bought this game at launch, didn't spend a single extra dollar on microtransactions, and it was great. Like, it was a fully featured game. It felt like they tacked on some microtransactions, but it didn't seem like they fucked the game to make you want to buy them. But people were so up in arms that this game had microtransactions that I know a bunch of people who refused to even play this game. I mean, now it's become more commonplace. The game with microtransactions came right in the heart of it. This was like right around the time that Battlefront 2 launched. This was 2017. So, yeah, that's when, like, microtransaction hate was at its peak. But, like, you have to, and you can't just hate a game for having microtransactions. Depends on how they do it. Like, this is a full fucking 60, 80-hour game where you get hundreds of suits of armor, hundreds of shit, and only if you feel lazy you can spend a couple extra dollars to skip it. Or you can just play the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like Capcom, where they have microtransactions like Resident Evil. You can unlock everything in-game, or if you want to be lazy and you don't want to do harder difficulties, you can pay extra money to unlock something. But you never feel like you have to. I mean, obviously, I would prefer they didn't do microtransactions at all, but if you're going to do microtransactions, this is the way. So, like, there are so many people who boycotted this game and wouldn't even play this game just, oh, it has microtransactions, without even seeing what they were. And so this is such a great game, and it really chapped my ass.
What are you doing?
I won't be long. Go.
That people wrote this game off
Provide support.
without even looking into it. Like, it has microtransactions, didn't see anything, and it sucked. And the funny thing about it is, they actually, removed all the microtransactions. They released a pretty big update. They released several really big updates for this game after launch to make it better, and they finally actually removed the microtransactions entirely. If you play this game now, there is none. And anyone who had bought microtransactions got a refund and all that. But by then, people didn't care. But so it doesn't even, that's the thing, it doesn't even have them in there anymore. You can't even get them if you wanted to. And it was such a non-issue. And I remember when I played this game, like, so many people pissed me off because, well, I mean, honestly, the devs, obviously, I mean, let's be frank, Alex, the devs didn't want to put the microtransactions in there anyway. We both know it was corporate, Warner Brothers, but yeah. And they added a shit ton of free content to this game. But it really upset me that so many people didn't even give this game a chance, because this game was awesome. This game came out in 2017. And man, 2017 was a fucking great year for gaming, dude. Like, every year has good games. 2017 is one of the better years for gaming, I think. You had Breath of the Wild and the launch of the Switch that came out. Super Mario Odyssey, all-time great 3D platformer. Shadow of War, obviously. Assassin's Creed Origins. Persona 5. Everybody loves Persona 5, talks about it, but it originally came out in 2017. It was like an 8-year wait, so there was a huge amount of hype behind Persona 5. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, fucking awesome game. Evil Within 2, one of my favorite horror games of all time ever, came out in 2017. Fuck, there's a lot more. Like, 2017 was a fucking stacked year for game releases, man. But yeah, this is one thing they added. They give you this glaive to do area attacks, which I dig.
We've lost the Middle City. We made them pay for every inch of ground, but they now hold it.
Then our fate will be decided here. Our inner wall is our strongest. We have double their archers.
We cannot match the orcs for their numbers or ferocity.
Oh, our people have held back Sauron's forces before.
But some things were lost forever.
Yes, of course they were. Go to the Great Hall. Secure the relics.
My place is here.
Make sure they are taken to Hennefernon.
Is that an order?
You must understand. We must protect what is most precious
At all costs.
Yes. That is an order.
Then I'll see it done. But I'll be back on the wall before their next assault.
A ranger from the Black Gate. I thought you were all dead.
You heard the truth.
If you've come to fight for Minas Ithil, Ranger, report to Captain Baron.
I've not come to join your army, General, but for the Palantir and its safekeeping.
Protect the city, and the Palantir will be safe. However, our raiding parties are targeting enemy captains in the lower city.
You wish to spread terror in their ranks.
Yes. It's about time we tasted fear.
The men are assembled, General.
Level up. Level in agility.
We need to secure the Palantir now. The city is weak and it will not hold for much longer.
But we cannot leave the Gondorians to their fate. Castamir is right. By protecting the city, we protect the Palantir.
Look,
The towers bear his mark.
those were my towers once. Now Sauron's corruption spreads beyond the borders of Mordor. He mocks me.
They give him sight.
Not without the Palantir.
We will dismantle his hold on Minas Ithil. We will shift the tide.
Yeah, here. Oh, hold on. Let me. That's a great. Okay, let me see. Yep. Elven agility. Oh, fuck you. Like, okay, Elven agility was the ability before, where I would hop over something, and you get a speed boost. Except now they've upgraded it so you can actually get it when you're climbing up a tall building to help you climb buildings faster. Which, in a gigantic fucking tower like this, is really helpful. And there's this game's map is a lot more vertical. Like, everything about this game is improved. Like, right? I mean, it would take, okay, for example, it would take ages to climb this in the original game. See, the city is breathtaking. And super dense. But, okay. This is what I want to show you. So, this game was one of the better games to support yeah. PS4 Pro for a simple reason. Okay, so you see the woods where you came from and all this. Now let's go into filters. Hold on. I'm looking for a particular filter. Oh, my bad. No. Here we go. This is cell shading. This gives you a good look at the buildings through the fog of war. You can see over there where he came in. So The game has graphics modes. Favor resolution, which just favored the resolution as high as possible. No additional visual improvements, but the favor quality. Graphics will be scaled to favor quality over resolution. This includes features such as improved ambient occlusion, increased draw distance, improved texture filtering, and improved vegetation. And it would favor scale dynamically. It still has a higher resolution than the base PS4. Sorry, I'm trying to... There's actually a tree branch up there that I'm getting the camera stuck into, which is hilarious. But, now that I turned it on, this is the max you will ever get the draw distance, by the way, because I'm zoomed all the way out and then zoomed out with the field of view, okay? You never get this high normally. You can see the draw distance is massively improved. All the trees over there on that part of the city are rendered from this far away. And, like, all the miscellaneous trees, it, like, triples the draw distance. And even without that, you can see the draw distance is way better. And for me, this was a much better use of, like, the PS4 Pro's power, the Xbox One X's power, rather than just a slightly higher resolution. I'm like, man, I wish more games had upgrades like this, instead of just, oh, we have a higher resolution. Like, this is a much more noticeable improvement. And now, actually, it's the good thing. Now, there's just, there's no reason, actually, to have the quality mode, because it had a dynamic resolution. It still does. So, if you play it on PS4 Pro and quality mode, it would push the resolution as high as it could go with the extra graphics. On PS5, it dynamically hits the max resolution at all times, always. So, there's literally no purpose for quality. I just wanted to show you the difference that it makes, and how this is a much better use of that extra processing power than just slightly higher resolution, which, like, 95% of PS4 Pro upgrades were just, oh, we're 1440p instead of 1080p. You know what I mean? And then, of course, on Xbox, you had all this, plus much better textures. Like, way better textures. I'm not even doing it justice. One X was actually quite a bit more powerful than PS4 Pro. And then on Steam, obviously you have that, all that, you know. But yeah, for at the time, this was a showpiece for One X and PS4 Pro. But yeah. Actually, you know, hold on, wait. I'm going to get a picture from the top. Forgot about that. And I think improving the draw distance, and yeah, see, it's cool. You can see Osgiliath from here. Minas Tirith, even if you can't go to him. I think it's really cool. But, like I said, it's just so many games are just, oh, we're a slightly higher resolution. Like, this is a much better use of the extra processing power, especially in an open world game, where draw distance is a lot more important. And you can also see they focused on the maps being dense. This map is bigger than any map in the first game, but this is still not what you'd call, oh my god, the biggest map ever. But it's all dense, it's all handcrafted. So I would prefer that to just making the maps needlessly bigger. They need to be. So the maps are bigger than the first game, and there's 5 in the base game, 6 with DLC compared to 2 in the original game. But they didn't just focus on making it, you know, bigger. I'm sure they could have made it 10 times larger than the first game if they wanted to, but they wanted to still maintain the density So they're bigger overall, but they're not as big as they could be, which I'm fine with. Yeah, sorry. I had a bit of a tech rant. Whee! And oh my fucking god, man. Parkour is so much better. You're not really getting to see much of it right now. But you will. Because in the original game, you could climb up pretty quickly, but you didn't have a lot of momentum between buildings. You really get some speed. Forward momentum, which you'll see what I'm talking about. Well, you kind of already can see what I mean, where his movements have a lot more forward momentum. And honestly, it's almost painful playing the original game.
But we can turn Sauron's low craft against him.
These towers can give us sight.
We will purify them and make them ours. Edrafoni, get it lean! Here we see all that has been lost, and all that will be lost if his corruption is allowed to return. The city is built on the ruins of my kingdom, yet some things remain. Those are my barrows, still hidden from Sauron's sight. There I will show you why we must retrieve my ring.
And in the original game, you'd have these weapon tails where you would forge your weapons and improve them, but it kind of wouldn't make sense in this game because you have all these different weapons instead of just one sword. Oh, that sucks, dude. What happened? It just stopped charging, or it doesn't hold the charge very long now? Yeah, the overclocking. Yeah. Well, the good news, dude, is that, it's actually easy fix. The batteries are really cheap, and you can get them for really, good prices, and it's really easy fix. It's like a simple screw. You actually, if you don't mind dislodging the screw, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not end of the world. Is what I mean. You know what I mean? Like a total failure. So, of all the things that could have gone wrong in your 3DS, you're actually lucky. That's what you know. But anyway, what I was saying. So, in Shadow of Mordor, you had weapons to improve your dagger, like forging the legend of your sword, your dagger. But that was cool when it was just you had one sword and one dagger. With all the different armor sets. So instead, they have missions that are similar, but it's like Celebrimbor is an ancient elf. He helped forge the rings power, and that's same in the novels, by the way. And now you like do his memories of his past, and it serves the same function.
I can show you how to conquer Mordor.
As long as it keeps Gondor safe.
I recognize this place. I fought here ages ago.
Seems quiet enough.
And these missions are actually a lot of fun. And not only do you gain a bunch of rewards for doing them, but you gain a legendary armor set for doing all of them.
Sick from Sauron and his barrows like these. Reminders that even the Dark Lord's reach extends only so far. In a bygone age, my army marched on Mordor. We buried our honored dead in barrows like this one. Our greatest warriors are preserved here, protected by powerful magic. And we use all our arts to bring the virtues of the elves with us as we marched.
And you had the One Ring.
Yes. And with it, I forged an army. I led the charge against Sauron.
So, this game's lore is kind of interesting. Celebrimbor was the greatest elven smith that ever lived. And he had Sauron tricked him into making the Rings of Power. Because Sauron had taken on a fair elven form. He called himself a Luvatar, the bringer of gifts. Sauron could shapeshift. For a long time, he pretended to be a good guy. And so he tricked Celebrimbor to making the Rings of Power. So he could, have the One Ring that would control them. And Celebrimbor was the greatest elven smith, who ever lived. And, he made 3 rings for the elves, 9 for the dwarves, 9 for men. And after that, the elves, Galadriel, forget the Celebrimbor and the third elf, I forget his name, were able to feel Sauron's influence on the rings. So unlike the other species of men, races of Middle-earth that were tricked, like the men became the ring wraiths, the dwarves were corrupted by greed, the elves immediately sensed his presence and took the rings off and hid them. And that really pissed Sauron off, because now he didn't get to trick them, and also he doesn't have the rings, which he spent a lot of materials and shit to make. So the elves particularly pissed Sauron off, because they didn't fall for that shit at all. Like, they immediately felt his influence on the rings and hid them. And funnily enough, actually, it's something they don't talk about in the movies. Gandalf has one of the elven rings. I think it's called Naraya, and it gives other people hope. And he hid it for ages. Even if they don't talk about it in the movies, if you go back and you rewatch Jackson's movies, you can see he has a red ring on his ring finger. That's a ring of power. And that was the reason why, because unlike the other rings, which gave you power, yada yada yada, the whole benefit of his ring was to inspire hope in other people. So, it wasn't nearly as useful to Sauron, because what's the Dark Lord going to do with a ring that inspires fucking hope? But it was perfect for Gandalf. And gave him, innate resistance against, ring wraiths and shit. And that's a fun detail, where you can literally go back, and even though they don't acknowledge that it's the Ring of Power, you can literally see it in his ring finger if you go back and rewatch the movies. Bright red gemstone. But then, he had him make the One Ring to control the other rings. And Celebrimbor made that one too. And Celebrimbor didn't want to make the last ring, because he finally figured out what Sauron was doing. So he took his family and kidnapped his family, and he basically forced Celebrimbor in servitude to make the One Ring. And for a while, Celebrimbor actually took the One Ring and used it against Sauron because he made the ring. But what he didn't count on was because Sauron had poured his life force into the ring, Sauron was able to snap the ring back. So Celebrimbor nearly killed Sauron back in the day. And he only failed at the last second. Like, he literally showed him, like, wailing on Sauron, beating the shit out of him, and then Sauron pulls the ring off, and then he kills him. And kills his family. And that was kind of the idea of this game, is Celebrimbor was like, oh, I could pour my will into my own ring. That was the secret. That's why I failed, because Sauron put his life force in the ring, even though I made it. So he's like, I'm gonna make my blue ring, and I'm gonna put my life force in it. And it's in my closet, but there's a specific iron hammer that he made the ring with. If you pre-ordered copies of Shadow of War, you got a little tiny replica of that. It's about this big, and it's a steel hammer, and it's actually made out of real steel. And it's fucking awesome. It's like a little elven hammer, and I've kept it in my closet and kept it all these years. And it's awesome. Like I said, it's like this little tiny elven hammer, and I got it because I pre-ordered Shadow of War. I'll have to show you one of these days. It's one of the coolest gaming collectibles that I have. They only made a very limited thing. It was like the first wave of pre-orders. You know what I mean? So I can say I have a little replica of the One Ring. The hammer that forged the One Ring.
In my wrath, I was determined to punish him for his treachery.
See, by doing these missions, you can unlock this sword for use as Talion. This sword's fucking sick. And you can unlock this armor set that gives you legendary bonuses to your bow. So you gain a bunch of gold, a skill point for doing every one of these missions, and then you gain a legendary armor set and sword doing this, which I think is fucking sick. So it's like all the side missions in this game you want to do. And you also have a new ultimate ability, which you'll see, it's really cool. They added ultimate abilities. Wasn't in the first game at all, but it's really cool. Basically lets you Hulk out with the ring. Shit, Shit. I always do the optional stuff. Well, damn. I always try to, you should always do the optional objectives. You actually, by doing that, you actually get an extra skill point. Yeah, that is true. Well, same thing with PS5 controllers. If you ever need to replace your PS5 controller batteries, Alex, let me know. I can actually show you how to open the controller. It's pretty easy, as long as you have the right screwdriver. And the controller's really repairable. That was the whole reason I got, well, you can see right here, I have tools put away. My mom and dad ordered me a toolkit to open up a PS5 controller. And, the hope was that I could replace the battery, because I had had multiple dead PS5 controllers over the years. due to misfortune. And the batteries in some worked. Like, my first controller that died, the PS button stopped working, but the battery still worked. And then I had that brand new DualSense, black DualSense, that got shocked. So I hoped if I could open it up that I could replace one battery, that it was just battery. And then I found out, no, the whole motherboard's fried. I need a soldering gun and soldering it, and you actually need engineering know-how for that. Replacing the battery is simple. Resoldering a fucking motherboard and a controller, not so much. But I'll show you something really cool that you didn't know. You may think to yourself, how do you open a PS5 controller? This entire black panel here comes off. Most people don't even know that. How cool is that? And reveals the screws to open it. I went years without knowing that. Like, they hit that really well, because I'm like, how the fuck would you even open it? Oh, no, well, the entire black panel comes off. So, right now my controller's working, and that's all that matters. Like, I know Dustin was like, you know, oh, it'll stop working, but I can't really go by that. Like that, if I thought like that, well, it'll stop working eventually anyway. I would just, why even bother? You know what I mean? It's working right now. I just take it day by day. That's all that matters. I can use it right now. And I have a PS4 backup. Obviously, it won't let me play PS5 games, but it's better than nothing. But yeah, so right now it's working, and I'll knock on wood. I have a wooden desk right here because I'm superstitious. And I did not want to jinx me. Yeah.
If anywhere in Mordor is safe from Sauron, it is barrows like these. Reminders that even the Dark Lord's reach extends only so far.
But anyway, just by doing this mission, you get a skill point. But you can gain 2 or 3 skill points by doing the optional steps. So you really want to do the optional objectives in each mission. Oh, God. Well, that might just be the Nintendo store, dude. Well, I actually shut down. I don't know. I don't know if that's a system thing or not. But in that case, dude, I would just take it as it comes. You know what I mean? And of the two, the battery not working properly is the more pressing issue. Because it won't matter the download speed if the fucking thing won't turn on. So, you're definitely right to prioritize one over the other. There we go. Here's Elven Rage. Lets you fucking go ultimate mode. You see, he was actually whooping Sauron's ass. And then unfortunately he was able to call the ring, and that, well, put an end to that.
Is not marred with his shadow. It is perfect.
Each one of those missions is really cool, right? Yeah, it was. Fuck! I'll go back and do that
The ring is lost
later.
for now, but we can still secure.
And yeah, his outfit was great. That was actually Peter Jackson's genius, because uh, they gave vague descriptions. They said it was heavy metal and it had a cowl. They didn't talk about that, so they had to come up with a lot of the finer details for his armor, and they came up with something amazing. I also like the upgrade system in this game is fucking awesome. Uh, but you also get stuff that changes the way skills work. Like Spectral Dash lets you do dashes while you're crouching to flit around. Or letting you run silently. Or yeah, you don't get this till later, but it's so great. See, you have this one thing, it lets you hold a glaive, not enemies. You can double charge your glaive to fully use it as a weapon, see? And basically allows you to switch into like glaive stance. That's only available at level 20. Like the upgrades in this game change the way that you play. Like, oh, instead of just pulling it out for one area attack, I can just whip out the glaive and start fighting with it. Really fucking cool. All the upgrades are important like that. And then, once you beat the game and get into the epilogue, it unlocks a whole new massive thing of skills. And I can't talk about what kind it is because it's a massive spoiler. But there is a shit ton of stuff that only unlocks once you beat this game. The post game in this game is enormous. And also, I will tell you this. You can hit R1 to swap skins. Do not fuck with this. If you play this game, they added a skin due to fan request that will spoil the game. Because it's unlocked for everybody regardless, okay? So, stay out of this fucking menu. You see how I'm not going into any of the options. There's a reason for that. You don't want to be playing the game and then get the game's twist spoiled due to a fucking skin. It didn't matter for me because I'd already beaten the game, but like wow, that's really not good. So stay out of the change skin menu until after you've beaten the game. Trust me. This game has a fucking insane twist. I would say this game has one of the single greatest twists in game history. Not just because it's incredibly well done and you don't see it coming, but because it completely changes up how you play the game. The post game for this flips the fucking game on its head. And radically changes up how you play. Opens up a new set of skills, new gear, new weapons. And it is one of the coolest things of all time ever. And you should not have that fucking twist spoiled for you. Because like I said, it's one of the all-time great video game twists. Not just because it's great, but because it changes the gameplay. And the first time I played this game and I got to the end, my jaw was on the fucking floor. And that should not be taken from you if you're playing the game. So, a lot of people pointed out, I think they didn't care because this was added in, this was part of the last update. They added in the skin as a fan request. And I guess they figured that, they were already in exporting the game anyway, but if you're a newcomer, you don't want to have that spoiled for you. So stay out of the fucking change skin screen, man. Trust me. But yeah, so you see all these skills, And once you beat the game, there's a bunch of new shit. Let's see. Yep, gotta start with the execution. Or, oh, fuck, dude, this is so cool. Which one is this? I'm looking. Oh, yeah, okay. So, they added a system from Arkham Knight, because this game came out after Arkham Knight, and they're like sister games, where you could do a super counter. Like, if you wait till right before they counter, you can do more damage, kind of like, you know, how, like, in Arkham Knight, if you wait till right before they hit you, you have the regular counter, and then the one where Batman throws them away. If you wait for extra timing, it's kind of that. But you can get an upgrade that makes it so well-timed counters instantly kill enemy grunts. So if it's not like a named orc, it instantly kills them. So, like, once you get that, man, if you time your counters, you're just fucking instantly killing minor enemies. Like I said, like, these abilities are fucking game changers.
Then we will go to the Great Hall. Idril is there. She may be able to help us.
Oh, here we go. And now we get a Karagor, which they was in the first game, but they made them a lot cooler now. Oh, fuck, I killed it. Shit. Oh, well. They can stealth now, so you can sneak around on your mount. Pretty fucking sick. Like I said, just like everything about this game that was awesome, they took it from the first game and turned it up to 11. Like, this is like the pitch perfect idea of what a sequel should be. Oh man, here we go. I'm trying to get to the point of the main quest where you can see the double jump. The double jump in this game is so fucking sick. Maybe one of the best double jumps ever. And obviously there was no double jumping in this game, so... In the first game, I mean. I mean, for me, the Shadow War is very close to a 10 out of 10. My nitpicks for this game are insanely tiny.
Take the most valuable.
We're taking everything.
Adrian, sacrifices must be made.
We'll not sacrifice our past to fear.
Oh there. Who are you?
Baranor, this is the Ranger I was telling you about.
You've spilled much blood for Minnesitha. We don't even know your name.
Talion.
Gondor thanks you, Talion. But we need all warriors at the gate.
Well, the Uruks seek the Palantir. They will not stop until it is theirs. Where is it?
My father has hidden it.
There's nothing safe, hidden or otherwise. The Uruks will tear this city apart to find it.
These are desperate times. But we will not surrender, and we will not fall. We cannot.
Like I said, I love everything about the city. The White Towers, the Roman influence, how you have these giant skirmishes between the Gondorians and the orcs, and it's not just scripted. You can just watch them fighting in the streets, and then it eventually transforms into Minas Morgul. And this city falling in the books was a huge moment in the lore, because this was the last man-made outpost in Mordor that remained. So it's like, okay, now there's nobody left in Mordor to fight back. So you can kind of understand why they altered the lore slightly in the game to allow you to see Minas Ithil before it fell, when normally this already would have occurred. And honestly, I mean, yeah, it's tweaking the lore, but I'm kind of okay with it because you get to see this awesome transformation between it being this white city to the fucking headquarters of the Nazgul. And if you do tweaks to a game, this is how you should do it. You can clearly tell that the tweaks in this game are made with respect. And I'm just trying to point out how, like, compare this.
That was only the beginning. There'll be more. We have to find out what we're dealing with. This way.
Compare this to, say, the Rings of Power, which I don't know if you watched that. It's fucking garbage. Both of them make changes to the lore. The changes in this game are made by people who respect the canon. And it still makes sense, like, slightly tweaking the timeline so they can have Minas Ithil, show the fall of Minas Ithil, having Shield shapeshift. It all still feels credible. It's bending the lore, not breaking it, whereas the Rings of Power is like wiping it their ass with the books. And it's kind of funny because when this game came out, there were a bunch of purists like, I can't believe they changed parts of the lore. And it's like, yeah, just wait a couple years and you'll be praying for the days when we got this kind of shit and not the Rings of fucking Power.
It's not much further.
And once again, and you know, Alex, can I just say, what the fuck is it with the stuff now where they feel the need to, humanify or goodify or whatever you want to say characters that are supposed to be evil? According to what I've heard, they're gonna have they already had orcs in the Rings of Power be portrayed as like refugees and we're fighting for our family, even though the orcs are in the Uruks are literally fucking made by Sauron to be evil. They're warped elves. Okay, they're not, they're just innocent people. They're evil. Okay? And then you compare that around the same time in fucking the Book of Boba, which, God, man, you think. They took a show about Boba Fett. Or Jango, I'm sorry. Jango, I keep forgetting. Is it? No, it's Boba. It's Boba. I always get them confused. They took the Book of Boba, a show that should have been a slam dunk, and they made it fucking lame. Even Tamora Morrison, the guy who plays Boba, said he didn't like what they did to Boba's character. You know it's bad when the fucking actor said this is bad. You remember that's when they had the whole Power Rangers shit? But in that show, I'm not talking about the general shit, they tried to humanize the Tusken Raiders. I'm like, well, actually, they're just a bunch of outcasts. Yeah, they're just a nice, peaceful band of outcasts. Let's just forget that up until now in Star Wars lore, they're a bunch of raping, murdering cannibals. Well, you get what I mean. Boba, Jango, they're both played by the same dude, basically, Tamora Morrison. They tried to humanize the Tusken Raiders. They're raping, murdering fucking cannibals. Honestly, Anakin's fucking crash out in episode 2 is one of the most justified fucking crash outs I've ever seen. Like, I know they tried to, like, show his episode 2, like, him killing the Tusken Raiders, even the children. As, like, as part of his descent into darkness, dude, I've got to be 100% with you, man. I would have done the same thing. Okay? They're already raping, murdering cannibals. Okay? If I found out that they took my mom and they did God knows what to her for weeks, months, and then they fucking killed her? Dude. Yeah, they're literally shooting at pod racers for fun. So no, don't fucking humanize them. Humanize them. Like, out of all the bullshit that Book of Boba did, that was the worst. Like, they're just misunderstood. No, they're fucking assholes. And now they're saying in the Rings of Power season 3, not that I care, but they're gonna have an orc be a good orc to be a main character. Like, ugh, fuck me, dude. How do they even get 3 seasons? What the fuck? There's so many shows that I love, man, that got canceled after 1 season, dude. And shows like The Rings of Power are on the 3rd fucking season, and who likes them?
The city can't take much more. I'll handle the siege beasts.
Baranor and I can manage here.
Talia, we must commandeer one of the siege beasts.
Well, this should prove interesting.
Yeah, well, they took a good show and they managed to make it suck ass.
Shooting those explosives should subdue the beast.
Okay, because Rings of Power on paper is a good idea. It takes place during the Second Age and shows how the rings were made. And shows the original battle between Sauron and the orcs and elves and dwarves and men, where they all banded together. You know, at the very beginning of Lord of the Rings, when they show Isildur killing Sauron, the Rings of Power was supposed to be a show showing that whole battle leading to that. Okay? On paper, that's a great idea. It's a whole different age. It leads into Lord of the Rings, but it's not just Lord of the Rings. There's all these different things. There's tons of history. Like, there's tons of shit there. They fucking ruined it. Sauron takes the guise of a human man, and Galadriel fucks him. I shit you not. And they have black elves. And, okay, fair fact. This goes to show you how you can do it right and you do it wrong. You just saw a black character in this game. His name is Baranor. He is a Rohirrim. They were born in the desert of Mordor. They're black. And he was orphaned when his parents died, and he was adopted by Gondor. Okay? So, right there, Shadow of War manages to have a black character, a main black character, without shitting on the lore. And they took an already black race, the Rohirrim, and he got adopted by Gondorians, because Gondorians are normally white, and they don't ever make a big deal of the fact that he's black. Okay, Idril, or Ithril, I'm sorry, the chick, Idril, yeah, chick, female warrior. She's a cool character. She's not, I'm girl bossing it up. So this game actually shows how you do it right. And then you have Rings of Power, where we just have black elves, where it's literally, it's not a guy who's adopted into the elves as black, it's a black elf. They literally don't fucking exist. All the elves are described as being a fair of skin. Okay? It's the same thing they did to Dragon Age, man, that pissed me off. Every single Dragon Age game, Alex, has let you play as a black character. Every fucking one. When you play human, you can do any ethnicity under the sun. Black, white, Asian. But elves, you can play as an elf, but they're strictly pale because that is a defining characteristic of the species. And so in Dragon Age Veilguard, which was fucking awful, black elves, Asian elves. And they're like, well, shouldn't Asian and black people be included? They already fucking were. you could already play an Asian dude or a black dude in the games. They were just humans, okay? Because that's how that works. But now, you know, we literally take established lore and we just fucking spit on it. Yeah. Dude. So, I'm going on a rant, and I apologize. But I'm trying to point out, this game is how you do inclusivity right. They managed to have a female warrior and a black warrior in the game without breaking the lore, and they don't sit there and virtue signal to you. Well, I'm a woman, I'm a black guy. Rings of Power is how you fucking do it wrong, where they're constantly talking about being black elves. Oh, and then, it's funny, Alex, they couldn't commit to the inclusivity because they show female dwarves in Rings of Power. Well, if you're anywhere familiar with the Rings of Power, or Lord of the Rings lore, I mean, female dwarves look very close to male dwarves. They have fucking beards. And Gimli in the Two Towers even says most people who have met a female dwarf probably didn't know they met a female dwarf because to outside eyes, they look like men. Well, they have female dwarves in the Rings of Power, and wouldn't you know it, they don't have beards. So, I thought you guys were being inclusive, and we're all trans, but why? Because it's really hard to find a female in real life that has a fucking beard without wearing a giant prosthetic, and nobody really wants to see a woman with a big bushy beard. So it's funny where they will be progressive and where they won't be. I mean, we're going all progressive and inclusive. Give us the fucking female dwarves with beards, bro. It's the same thing with The Last of Us. They ranted over and over and over and over and over and over again about Abby. Well, you're just upset because she's a jacked female. Jacked women exist. Even though the problem that people had, I mean, of course there's going to be some hateful bigots, whatever. Most people had, it's like, how are you going to get jacked in the apocalypse? Anyone who knows anything about bodybuilding knows you need to be consuming a insane amount of protein to get ripped. And it's like, we're in the apocalypse, we're struggling to eat it all. So where is she finding fucking gallons of chicken and rice, man? But I digress. They said, well, female bodybuilders exist. You're just being a bigot. And then, when it came time to cast the actors in the show, the actual live-action show, they cast a non-jacked girl, and then they came out and said, well, it was actually really hard to find a capable female actress that was also a bodybuilder. Oh, what? Do you mean that it's actually uncommon to find female bodybuilders? In the world that we live in now, it's uncommon. Only imagine in the apocalypse, where in the apocalypse, there's not going to be a lot of male bodybuilders. So they literally proved the fucking point. They literally straight up said, well, it's hard to find women that are jacked in real life. Literally, you proved our fucking point for us. If it's hard to find women bodybuilders now in real life, imagine what it would be like in the apocalypse when society has collapsed and nobody can find any food. I will say in the game, though, they actually do talk about that. They actually have a city with get supplies, and they show that they actually have burritos and protein and shit. So I will say in the game, they actually do explain how she can get swole, that they actually do have robust food and shit. They, you know, in her city she took over, they actually have professional food and shit like that, because they actually reclaimed the city. Okay? So at least they try to explain it in the game. At least they try to say, okay, there's a reason why we have people that get swole. We have a gym, and we actually have a food supply chain coming in. We reclaimed the city from the infected. They have power and shit. Okay, that's more plausible. But like I said, all that, you know, oh, women are jacked, and then they straight up said, well, you know, it's actually kind of hard to find a female that's that ripped. So it's like, so you just, all that bullshit for nothing. You could have just said, oh, it's not realistic. Yeah, I guess that's the end of my TED Talk for today. Yeah, you get to ride these things. It's cool.
Let's see what this thing can do. Here they come.
Mobile Ballista! See, shit like this is awesome, man. You're just killing dozens of orcs at a time, dude.
Another siege beast is in range. Destroy it. Pity we can't take it with us. It's a formidable weapon.
You must move quickly. This should help.
Here we go. Shadow Strider. Dude, this double jump fucking rules. And you can do it in any direction. Tell me that's not fucking sick as shit, man.
If Venus Equal falls, then it will only be a matter of time till they find the Palantir.
I was thinking of Gollum.
Do you see what I mean? Where, like, I'm just at the start of the game, dude, and you can already see, like, the insane amount of ways that they improve this. Or fucking Shadow of Mordor. Like, this is what a sequel should be. Shit, got a little too close. And that's not to say Shadow of Mordor is bad, but it's just this game is such a huge leap, man.
Endless. Sauron's armies have grown massively. A conventional victory against him will not be possible. We must secure the Palantir.
That's what I'm saying. I would say, like, Shadow of Mordor is good, but it's a rough first draft. It's like an 8 out of 10. This is like a fucking 10 out of 10 game. I love this game. I put so much time in this game, man. And I never got the platinum. I'm going to this time. I got the platinum for Shadow of Mordor. I mean the platinum for this. Of course, this game's considerably longer. It took me about 20-ish hours to get the platinum for Shadow of Mordor. Yeah, I'm looking at 60 to 80 for this, so it's not going to happen overnight. But I love this game, and I wanted to say I had the platinum for both. Because obviously I didn't get the platinum when I first played this because I played it on Xbox. I bought this with my One X. So otherwise, if this had been the first system I played it on, I would have had it.
Push them back. For now.
Another attack will surely follow. We should return to the upper city, check on Idril and the others.
It's not enough for them to destroy us. They wish to wipe away our history.
At least they don't have the Seeing Stone.
The gates are holding.
These relics were my life. My father was right.
And one of the side quests in this game is collecting all the
We'll
relics.
salvage what we can and leave.
You have a valuable weapon. The Seeing Stone gives you sight over your enemy. Use it.
It is too dangerous. The Palantir is poison to men. None can withstand its influence.
I can.
Men before you have thought the same.
And if I'm wrong, I will fail as they have failed. But if I'm right, we win this war.
Then I will find my father.
The Palantir
Speak to him.
is an incredibly powerful seeing eye stone, like the most powerful seeing eye stone. It lets people see into the future. like to an extreme degree.
Your oath, Ranger.
And that's why Sauron wants it back. Because you can literally see most of the movements of the enemy before they made them with it. But it can corrupt the most people. Talion is fucking G, though. And, not to mention the fact, Talion had a ring of power, and he was willing to give it up to sacrifice his friend. So, the ring that Celebrimbor made was on par with the One Ring in terms of power. If you know anything about the One Ring, it's all powerful. So, Talion literally was willing to give up this godly fucking ring just to save his friend. That's not something somebody of no moral character does. So obviously power doesn't mean anything to him, because most people with the Ring of Power would have said, fuck you, I'm keeping the ring. And he gave it up instantly to save his friend. She even mentioned, oh wow, this means to you. She said, I wouldn't give it up.
You put a lot of trust in her.
Give her time. Until then, we should return to Shelob. I need more answers.
Oh, yeah, you get to see the second region. It was really cool. I was there when the game started, but only did briefly. Now you actually get to see the region. This whole, like, map is in a cave. Well, like a really big cave. And it sounds weird, but it's really cool.
Visions can help us.
We need the ring.
Each area in this game is super unique. See, the parkour in this game is so much better, man. You just fucking fly through the air. I'm looking for a specific... Yeah, see, I can't get it yet. But I will. It lets you slow down time with the bow while you're in the air, which is fucking sick. There's been a lot of good Lord of the Rings games too, but I think for my money, this is probably the best Lord of the Rings game ever made. Obviously, that's open for debate, but man, this game is fucking exceptional. And it really kills me that we could have got a third game of this, and Warner Brothers put the series on hold for a Wonder Woman game that we then never fucking got, man. So, now it's been 9 years since this game come out, and we literally could have had like 2 more of these fucking games by now, man. No! And, you know, now we're waiting for more Batman games, too. Fucking Warner Brothers, man. But the current rumor, obviously we're going to have to wait to see, but the current rumor is that, oh shit, I advanced time, I wasn't meaning to do it. The current rumor is that after the huge, like, loss of Suicide Squad, that Warner Brothers smartened the fuck up and put them on a new Batman Arkham game. We can only hope and pray. Of course, that means we're probably not going to see it for many more years, because it would have only started a few years ago. It usually takes 4 or 5 years to make a big Batman game. But hey, we might eventually get a fucking game of the series, Alex. And that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, everybody always says, like, all these corporations care about is money, right? Do they really? Because if I was a big corporate executive and I'm looking to make money, what's gonna make money? Batman? Batman! Dude, like, it's literally a good, it's like one of the closest things to a sure thing you're ever gonna get. If you make a good Batman game, people are gonna fucking buy it. Like, I don't even know how much more clear to be. Oh, hey, careful, yeah. Than that. You know what I mean? I cannot see a good Batman game doing poorly financially. It just isn't gonna happen. So if they really, really, really wanted that money, you'd think they'd be more on Batman. But I guess not. And that's the crazy thing, dude. They don't even need... They don't even need, dude, to rewrite the playbook. Like, just give us a more refined, improved Arkham Knight. I'm good to go. You know what I mean? I don't need them to do a new Batman game that's like a radical reinvention, dude. I just want more Arkham games. And it just goes to show you, in like, the entire time the Arkham series has been around, now it's been around since 2009, so wow, it's been almost 2 decades now. There's no other game really like the Batman Arkham games, man. So it's not like all of a sudden the market is oversaturated with competition. Like, you could do a new Arkham game, man, and just keep the gameplay mostly the same as the Arkham games, Arkham Knight, but make it bigger, obviously prettier, more refined, and I would be okay with that. Nobody's like, oh my god, we need more. We need to revitalize the fucking wheel. I'm sorry, I meant reinvent. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're gonna get to see Sirith Ungol, dude. This place is so cool. And also, in Shadow of Mordor, you did one region, you finished it, you moved on to the next. Now in this game, you have multiple regions with quests you can do in any order. But see, the tip of this region is outside of the cave and above the cloud lines. But like the majority of this region is inside of a cave, but it's still an open area. It's really nifty. Oh shit. Oh, I'm not fucking with that. Have fun, you guys. I always do these first because you get skill point for doing all of them, and it shows you where everything is in the region, and you get fast travel point, basically the Middle Earth equivalent of viewpoint. Actually, hold on. Yeah, might as well. So you can actually see inside the cave. Like I said, this is a fucking huge cave. So it's like, I can't think of another game where it's like has a massive open area inside of a cave. Well, Alex, I would make sure to wash your hands and dispose of that carefully so, you know, it doesn't fucking explode. But to me, I just think the idea of having a map in a cave system, an open map in a cave system, is a really unique idea. And that's, I mean, every area in this game is super unique like that. No two areas in this game are alike. So the game actually has quite a bit of variety in the locations. Each region feels completely fresh. Different wildlife, different setup, different enemies. Yeah, well, that's basically what you're getting here. Yeah, remember when they had those fucking Samsung phones that could explode, man? God, that was so hilarious and also insane. That whole scandal wound up costing Samsung like over $1 billion. And at the time, they were actually really close to rivaling Apple in terms of sales. And they built for years, and they kind of fucked it up. I still don't think they had it. So it's like they were actually really close to rivaling Apple, and then they fucked it up.
Did you hear that?
See, he's shitting. See, the orc is shitting. Here we go. Yeah, baby. And see, now you could ride a Caragor before. You could climb before and ride him, but you had a base weapon. Now he uses the fucking glaive while you're on it, which makes the mounted combat fucking sick. You can do mounted executions. And you can sneak. So not only do you have a mount that you can fucking kill or climb with, you can fucking sneak around with this fucking thing. It's like, what other game do you think of where you can sneak around on your mount, man? And later on, not only do you gain the ability to summon a Caragor at will to wherever you are, you can summon a squad of Caragors. So you can just roll up deep six with a fucking... you get like an alpha Caragor and pull up with a squad. Man, this game just fucking rolls, dude.
Gondor's preferred order of battle with variations is a chart depicting how an army should be organized, from the frontline infantry to the cooks and teamsters in the rear. Whenever I study it, I'm amazed at what it takes to send an army to war. Details down to the number of cobblers and farriers for each column of soldiers. Such matters of supply seem mundane, until you're under siege, desperately fighting on quarter rations. Then, you're eager to pay attention to logistics.
The structure of Gondor's army, from general to foot soldier.
A structure the orcs will cast down the moment they set foot in Gondor.
Like a fucking mount that can climb. That is the coolest fucking thing. And we've yet to have another game do that, man. But see, that's the fortress, the major fortress of the region. Once you take over this place, you can walk around in it freely, but the look of it changes depending on the tribe that's here. This fortress will look completely different if it was taken over by a different type of war chief. And once you, obviously, take over, you decide. So you can actually customize the look of the fortress. Which I think is fucking sick. No. Sweet. Oh, you can poison the grog from afar. That's cool. Detonate. Brace daggers. And let me see. I wanna. Yeah, let's do that. So, and you keep getting skills at a pretty even clip, like I said, throughout the whole game. So, they constantly drip feed you new abilities throughout. You're constantly getting a new piece of gear, a new weapon upgrade, a new type of orc. Like, the game does a good thing of making sure it never gets boring. Alright, now I can continue with the main quest.
We should return to Shelob. She can help us.
We share an enemy in Sauron, but she is not our ally.
A knife in the dark. And that's a new type of orc. O.C.G, they're war trolls. Right? Yeah. And you can make one of them your bodyguard. And there's many, god damn it, there's many other types of enemies like this. New types where pretty much all the enemies in the original game were in the same orc family.
Gollum? And why would you save me?
I wasn't talking to you, stupid ranger.
He is working for the spider.
No. The Dark Mistress.
The Dark Mistress? What, you got some BDSM shit here going on, Gollum? I mean, I'm not gonna judge you.
Great Master kills the Dark Lord.
And the spider pulls the strings.
We
share a common enemy in Sauron. And you can't always choose your allies. Lead on.
Come, bright master. Gollum will show you a cryptier path.
That wasn't just a troll.
They are Olog-Hai, war trolls. They're smarter, faster, and immune to sunlight. Sauron's forces are more powerful than ever.
We hate them as much as we hate nasty orcs. We keeps our distance, so we don't get squished and crushed into bits.
Like how you tried to crush my head with a rock the last time I saw you.
But we didn't. We could never hurt the Bright Lord. Who's up for it now? Yes?
That is yet to be seen.
Fucking Gollum, man.
Bright Master, we're very close.
Honestly, I can't even blame Gollum. I would fold immediately. I saw a woman that hot in real life, man.
I know why you are here.
Return what you have stolen.
Silence, Ringmaker. You forget yourself. Stolen. You begged me to have it. And what of you, Talion?
I am here for Minas Ithil.
You seek to save it, even though it may already be lost.
There must be a way. There is truth in your vision. Grant me another.
To what end? For knowledge? To dominate? Oh, you don't have to tell me. Here is your truth.
You want to move up the ranks, you got to kill. You want to get noticed, kill a pink skin. The bigger the target, the higher you rise.
Idril. She dies.
Many will pass before Sauron is defeated.
This knowledge can guide our hand. If we kill this assassin, perhaps this future will not come to pass. She can be saved.
She will live or die with honor, and it will not shift the tide of war. It is Castamere who must be protected. If he falls victim to this assassin, we will lose the Palantir.
You found him precious? For the Bright Lord. We go to kill it under. Yes, we'll find the nasty assassin.
The assassin must be stopped. Gollum, you know where to find him?
Yes, we recognized his curved blade.
A Morgul blade.
Yes, stab, stab, stabbing all the war chief's bodyguards.
If we find the Uruk bodyguards he's targeting, we'll find the assassin.
The first one is near. This way. Careful. We see some Morgul fly nest.
What are those orcs doing? Yo.
The first bodyguard should be this way.
Earlier you said you recognized the assassin's curved blade. So you can see Shelob's visions.
Yes, Bright Master. One of the bodyguards was nearby. I'm sure of it.
Morgul blade could have caused these wounds. We're on the right track.
He's been dead for some time. We'll need to move faster if we want to catch up with the assassin.
Yes. We knows where another bodyguard is.
As the assassin kills his way up the hierarchy, he'll continue to seek bigger targets. Like Castamir.
Yes. Castamir is the only one who knows where the Palantir is. He must be kept alive at all costs.
We know the nasty orc is here, but we forget where exactly. We are close. You can find it.
A false trail. He's a smart one.
Yeah, might as well get the Gundarian artifacts because it's right here.
I believe this plate is of Easterling manufacture. The ceramic and the style of decoration is a sort unknown to me or anyone I've shown it to. I know that the Easterlings from beyond the Sea of Rune have never been friends to Gondor.
Alright, man, I'll see you later. Hope you have a great day.
The wagons are fearsome indeed. But I should like to meet one up close when battle is not at hand. No matter how fierce they are, they're still men, not Uruks or other minions of the Dark Lord.
The Easterlings. Stranger even than the Haradrim of the South.
But just as vulnerable to entreaties from Sauron.
Why would she do that? Try to keep
If he can make it so that sunlight doesn't turn him into stone, why can't he make us invulnerable to swords? Did you hear that? Don't see it.
Wounds from a Morgul blade, just like the last one. This kill happened more recently than the other.
We are getting closer.
Gollum should know where the next target is. I found another Uruk. He hasn't been dead long. We're getting closer.
Closer and closer. We will take you to where the next one is. Stupid orcs never see Gollum. We sneaks around, and we hear so many things. Wait, orcs are coming. Hide.
He's terrified of Morgul flies. Everyone knows it. Says the Glorb who's afraid of spiderlings. Never should have told you that. There he is!
Always loud and mean, but they don't like the flies, precious. Especially the assassin. He runs whenever he sees them. We're close, but too many dirty orcs is around.
Stay here. I can find him on my own.
Times it had some fun. The bugger always manages to escape.
He must have doubled back.
Another victim. Yet this one still lives.
Let's find out what he knows.
It's bueno
The assassin is near.
Snafu.
anything's out there, you will regret making me hunt for it. Get them away from me! Something just moved. Go check it out. You're not taking this shit! Gotcha! Gotcha! I followed through with my orders, so if you're here to stop me, you'll be sorely disappointed. Today is your... Die, man! Next time!
Let's hope his death has changed what Shelob saw from Minas Ithil.
Minas Ithil will go the way of all flesh. We only need the Seeing Star.
How much of your soul was lost in that ring?
The Dark Mistress will be pleased.
Your drilling customers should be safe for now.
But the siege of Minas Ithil continues. The Palantir is still at risk of falling into him.
We are behind enemy lines. This is a perfect opportunity to sow chaos within Sauron's ranks. The assassin had one more target on his list. We should finish what we started and kill the war chief's final bodyguard. We should return to Minas Ithil.
The battle will not be won on the front lines alone.
Punishment.
Maggot! Why don't you be a good little talk and hold still so I can fill you full of maggot holes? You are prey! Do you really think that'd work on me?
Yeah, more of those! This tank has no score! You maggot!
Baranor, you can't have run out of orcs in the city.
There are a few left, but we're hunting one in particular. The last bodyguard of the war chief leading the siege.
I think we're after the same orc, and the way to a war chief is through his bodyguards.
You sound like you've had some experience in this.
I've had enough.
I'll follow your lead.
Spiders all by myself.
This is from Minas Ethel.
Someone killed the assassin. You mean that Lord 29 was killed his way of the chain? Wolverines. Nah, locked him anyway. Well, he was lucky.
Join your fallen brothers.
Aye, those little spiders are getting more daring. Swarming other like they was under someone's control.
Can't remember the last time I went manhunting.
Thrak.
Softskins deliver themselves straight to me. Let's have some fun!
Finish him! God, you didn't see that coming!
Good me!
I almost feel sorry for the war chief we're hunting. He'll be lonely without his bodyguards.
He'll join them soon enough.
War Chief Baranor seeks is just one of many, and they will continue their attacks on Minas Ithil.
Then our path is clear. We have to kill them all. And we'll need help from the Gondorians to do it.
Oh, snap.
Shelob's visions will reveal our path.
We must tread carefully, Talion.
You put too much faith in the spider. She only shows you what she wants.
Then tell me what you wish to see.
Minas Ithil still standing.
Oh, it's so selfless. Nothing more. We saw some troubling things last time, didn't we?
I want to know my fate with the Nazgul.
Be careful what you ask for, Ranger. With prophecy comes torment.
We take the city at dawn!
Submit to your destiny.
I know what you fear, Talion. Shelob's vision is not cast in stone.
The Witch King.
It is the power of domination. The ring can enslave the minds of men.
What can be done?
Sacrifices must be made, and many will be lost. But we must hold to our purpose, no matter what the cost.
Lives can be saved. If the war chief from my vision is the same one Baranor and his men are hunting, they will need help.
One war chief makes little difference.
Right now, this one war chief is the most immediate threat to Minas Ithil. I will not stand by while Baranor and his men risk their lives to take him down. Baranor, I'm here to help. This war chief you're after is not one to be taken lightly.
We've brought down war chiefs before, Ranger. But I won't turn down an extra sword.
And we shall take him down together. I'll take out his archers first. Your men move in after I've cleared the path.
Makes for a finer age. Why would I want that? I like it. Nice to have a pigskin. Oh, it really feels it.
We usually work alone. I hope the aim of these Gondorian archers is true. Otherwise, we'll be dodging friendly arrows.
They're experienced soldiers. They'll do their part.
Been some time since I've seen this many captains together who aren't trying to kill each
An elven archer would be worth 3 Gondorian archers.
Really? Only 3?
Getting tired of things sneaking about.
Never underestimate men fighting to protect their home.
This is not their home.
Now let's get to a vantage point. Time to signal Baranor's men.
Ah, the lovely smell of manfare. Nothing is sweeter. Together, we will crush their defenses and grind them to dust. Together, as captains and war chief united, we will have victory. Together, we take the city at dawn. Set them ablaze! For Gondor!
For Gondor!
Strike.
And here you are!
You must be the fool who killed my bodyguards. You only delayed the inevitable. The blood of man-swine will flow into my belly today, and I'll drink yours first. I want his blood on my hands now! Murder!
I'd say we're even. A good hunt. Less so for the war chief.
And his archers. We should go hunting again.
It would be my pleasure.
So, Talion, did we make a difference?
We cannot see your lens. We must return to Shelob.
The only reason to go back is for my ring.
Enough! This is about more than your ring. Or you! Her sight may be what saves us all.
Be wary, Talion. You trust her too easily.
I cannot ignore what she has shown me.
Oh, sweet. Fuck yeah.
I've come to see more.
I know.
If you can see Sauron's fate, tell us his weakness, so we may defeat him.
Your vision is limited. I would love nothing more than to see his torment. To see him beg before me. But my gaze is fixed upon the fate of Middle-earth.
Return what you have stolen from me, and I will bring Sauron to you in chains.
Why would I do that, Ringmaker? You and Sauron are one.
Is this what you seek? Vagaries and riddles? She is not our ally.
Certainly not yours. Come, Talion. See through my eyes. See through my eyes.
Their defeat comes from within.
Minas Ithil House is a
Who?
Her visions have come to pass. You and I have both seen it.
Minas Ithil is fighting a war on two sides.
Wait, Bright Master. We knows how you can find the traitor.
Take us to him.
A war chief speaks to him through a messenger. He shows you the messenger. Look there. Do you see? The Dark Mistress offers her little ones a nest filled with her children. Wake them and seize what they do.
Who cares? Something just moved. That's the Ranger! You like this?
Just a deep, deep sleep. They will come back when no one sees and take the Orcs back to the Dark Mistress. So there, that's the messenger. Follow him. He will lead you to his master.
We'll take it from here. Stay out of sight, Gollum.
Then they make us take the same barrels back there. What's in these barrels? Something just moved over there. A cannibal!
I'm on important business. Going to see the Manbreaker. Just met with a traitor, so I have valuable information for him.
I wasn't in your way. And if you got such important business, why are you bothering to stop and brag about it to me? Get moving, you maggot! could say a lot of trouble. Better him than me. Tired of fighting spiders and ghouls.
Oi! Make way! Make way! I have important news for the war chief. Just met with a pink-skinned traitor. He had quite a message for the boss.
You better shut your mouth and get moving. Manbreaker will skin you if you keep prattling on like that.
So, stay on guard. We'll find whatever made that noise and silence you. Don't let your guard down.
Alright, I'm gonna end this part here and take a break.